used to set up our collaborative course on the life and works of Vincent van Gogh. In the first 2 weeks of the Moodle course, this is our Moodle course overview. In the first 2 weeks, we learned how to navigate our way around Moodle and to document our work using Screencast-O-Matic, which is what I'm using to record this right now. And then in week 3, the serious work of forming our groups started to happen. So let's take a brief look at week 3. And if we go down to the bottom of week 3, we'll see that here is team formation. Um, we offered, several people offered possible groups that people could work in. Here you can see those. And then other people could have a look and either offer their own groups or join a group that was there. And you needed to have, I think, at least 3 in a group and no more than 6 in a group. This is our group at the top. The other groups you can see here as well. So we had this awesome team of Elena, Susan, Pascal, Magola, and me. And everybody, it was just fun to work with everybody. Okay, so after we had decided what teams we wanted to be on, then in week 4, we started getting down to this serious business of designing our course. Let me go back up to week 4, and you can see that. So this was actually just kind of a rough outline, and then here we are in week 4. And in week 4, you can see that Nelly created a course template for each of us. So if you go into our Van Gogh area, you can see this was originally 10 blank topic areas, and they were turned into sections that have been developed since then. So we had this course that Nelly developed, and we also had to create a Google Doc, a team policy that was going to guide us in this, and it was collaborative and people contributed to that. We copied the document, the template from Nelly, and we created this for our group. Talked about what we could give to the group, conflict resolution strategies, teamwork policies, the rules of the group, respect, trust, good humor, flexibility, and also how to get in what online communication we were comfortable with. And then finally, no, I guess that's all of it. The teamwork policy then. Okay. And we also, in that week, were given a template by Nelly to create a course syllabus. This was the blank template, and then we added our information to it. In our case, we had, I think that was Pascal that put that awesome picture on there. Okay, and then we had the abstract, and then you can see we use different colors for different input here. And then we came up with an agreed upon 5 topic areas, all about Vincent van Gogh, biography, his style, famous painting analysis, his influence on the art world. This was supposed to be an informational brochure, but that didn't work out. I'll explain that in a minute. Okay, and so we worked collaboratively to come up with a syllabus. Let me go back to our course now. And so after that, um, we then we had to also in the week 4 section, we used the forum to agree on which sections that we wanted, and everybody picked a section, and that was the section that they were going to work on. That worked out pretty easily. And also in that section, in week 4, we let me go back to that. Well, in week 4, we had to decide who was going to play what role in the team. I ended up being team leader, I think mostly because the course idea was mine, although other people had much more experience with technological things. But I kind of um, I set a couple deadlines for getting things done, like choosing topics and uh, and adding some information. But otherwise, everybody was pretty good at staying on time. Um, Then also, interestingly, we needed a place to discuss things collaboratively. We did create a WhatsApp group, but we only use that for quick communication mostly. But Magola had the idea of using topic 10 as a group discussion area, which is what this is. It now says group discussions. It was topic 10. And we actually created that as a forum for, why is that not opening? Where we could go in and discuss. There we go. Van Gogh discussion area. And then here we could all add things that we wanted to discuss and comment on. So that was our main go-to area for collaborating on the course. And then we each, in week 5, we actually got busy working on our own sections. And I had section 5, and since most of the idea was that it was going to be a wrap up of the course, and I had originally planned to have a brochure there, I couldn't find an activity for something like that in on Moodle that I could understand how to use in time for this course. What I ended up doing was I found out Moodle has something called a podcast. My problem with the podcast was I could only figure out how to record one person. Then I got help from by collaborating with my family, and my daughter said, "Oh, maybe you can use Skype." And we found out on Skype, the newest version of Skype, you can actually record 2 people having a conversation, and you can save it as an MP4 file and upload it to your podcast. So that worked really well. I tested it with my unfortunate son, who got also helped me collaboratively test it and see if it worked, which it does. He's still actually in this as a test. So yeah, so the podcast ended up being the way we're going to wrap up the course. And I just think it's interesting because you kind of start working on a syllabus, but it can evolve and change as you do it. And that's exactly what happened, I think, with our group, as we found out what things that were available to use and got new ideas, and we tweaked it until we finally got to where things worked. So you can see that we now have a complete course. Each person has developed their section. Week 1, getting to know Vincent van Gogh. Pascal developed that one with some cool activities. I now know how to use QR codes, which is neat. I think Susan developed the second part, writing. She's focusing on writing here, reading and writing. Makola did 3. That was really cool. You could click into a painting and on the internet and then describe it. And Elena did week 4, and I haven't checked this out. There are a couple of people's things I still want to test. We decided also to try to test each other's activities to see if they work the way they're supposed to. I think that's also important if you're going to offer a course. You need to make sure everything's working before you offer it publicly. In conclusion, um, we worked great as a group. It was a really fruitful learning experience. I hadn't expected to be team leader, but actually it was easy because everybody pulled their weight and did what they were supposed to do. Um, I think everyone in the group supported and helped each other. It was a positive experience. I really enjoyed getting to know everybody in the group a little bit, and it was also fun to listen to their voices in their videos that they did on this topic. So that's how we started from being newbies to Moodle, at least I was, to actually creating a course. It's not completely polished, but it's not bad, and it's getting there. Thanks.